Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday fun day. Woohoo. Yay. We're here. All right. I think you all can hear me. I see Kimberly's here. I see Courtney's here. Oh my gosh. Yay. Courtney, thank you. That's awesome. I hope they can join. They can always check out the replay too. So that'll be up. But yes, welcome, y'all. Welcome. I've got a couple not new decks, but new to the recent energy that I've been reading, and the animals are coming out again. So that's really exciting. If you all want to go ahead and drop questions in the chat, we can get a rolling with it. Make sure, real quick, that you do hit that like button wherever it might be for you. And that'll help get the video out to more of the subscribers as reminders. So this live Q&A is for subscribers, so you do have to be subscribed to the channel to benefit from a free mini reading. And in the live chat at the very top, I have a little welcome. And I have places where you can donate. Since I'm not yet monetized on YouTube, we're working on those watch hours. But if you'd like to extend a gift, it's totally optional. Tip or gift, optional, but those are received with so much gratitude. I have my links at the top of the live feed, as well as I popped in the dates for the future Q&As. So there are going to be 3 live Q&As, 3 Sundays in June. The 1st, the 15th, and the 29th. That's exciting. It's going to be like a three-peat. It'll be a lot of fun. And then in July, we'll have the 13th and the 27th. So Callie, hello, welcome, welcome. So glad to have you here. Anyone who would like to, you can just go ahead and drop your question in the chat and we will get a rolling with it. I think Kimberly's taken the plunge, so you can follow Kimberly's lead here and we'll get you a reading. Kimberly, so you would like to ask what your ancestors need for you to know. Good question. Sometimes, quieting ourselves and getting in touch with our ancestors can be something very important that we need to do. So I'm excited to do this. Okay, Kimberly, we're going to use the Wild Wolf. Is that what this is called? I think so. The Wild Wolf Tarot. Yes. So we're going to use the wolves for you tonight. And an oracle card, I think, here. All right. So I see Courtney's dropped in a topic for her reading. And Callie's dropped in a topic. Wonderful. Okay, so we've got Kimberly, Courtney, Callie. All right. Kimberly says, I think I'm going through some cycle breaking. Woo. Well, it's good to ask your ancestors for that. I'm also going to go into the messages from your animal spirit guides. Connected, again, in with your ancestry, what kind of animal spirit guide might be helpful. Ooh, very interesting. All right. So Kimberly, the power is really coming through. I feel a lot of passion and power coming through with your ancestors here. First off, we have the pack of leaders. Now, in this deck, I'm going to show you the card. This deck shows it as 2 wolves, but it is the Knight of Wands. So I kind of feel like this is you, one wolf is you, and another represents an ancestor, and it's very passionate energy. I had just done a reading, up-level reading for up-leveling your spiritual gifts and your intuition. And I don't know if you caught that one, Kimberly, but this Knight of Wands or pack of leaders came up, and I just have a whole new appreciation for this. The energy here it's very passionate, but it's also measured. And I'm getting that for you, that it's like you're hitting the right timing with things. That's what your ancestors want you to know. You're hitting the right timing on things. The way that you are moving is very powerful, and it's almost like at this time, your movements backed by your passions they're hitting on the cylinders. All cylinders are activated and they're hitting, and this does imply action. So I feel like your ancestors are kind of saying, we've got your back with the actions you are taking, with the words you are speaking, with the movements you are making. And they are acknowledging also your transition, because you had said you're curious that you're breaking a cycle, and you are. This is the Six of Watchers or the Six of Swords card here. And look at these swirls. Like, they're acknowledging again the momentum and the movement through the cycle. But also look at the one mountain, the little mini mountain there that's like a fixture, which I think is that earth sign energy that really has you grounded in to your current lifetime, to this dimension. It has you grounded in as you're passing through this cycle. So they're acknowledging your transition. And I love how the spirals are kind of giving me the feeling of flow. So they're like flowing around. And what's interesting is it's a Six of Swords card, but there's 7 spirals there, which is a very spiritual, intuitive number, which would say to me that your intuition is very on point, and your ancestors are backing you up with that, with your intuition being like, okay, your intuition and your actions lining up, firing on all cylinders. This is great. And the very interestingly, we may be connecting with an ancestor that has some connection to this. You got polar bear, and it says to stand up for yourself and speak your truth respectfully and compassionately with no attachment to the outcome. Polar bears are fierce. They're extremely powerful. All right. And think about how they weather transitions. They weather the cold, right? They're like built for it. And what I'm getting from this reading from your ancestors is that at this time in your life, the actions that you're finding yourself taking, the timing is spot on, and you're built for it, Kimberly. You're built for it. So that's what's really cool energy about what I'm getting for you. Thank you for asking that question. All right, I see Kate's here. Hi, Kate. Yay, Kate and Ashley's here. Chelsea's here. Awesome. Okay, I see more questions coming in. That's awesome. If you're here, drop in the question that you want to ask. We're going to Courtney next, Miss Courtney, for the greatest good for your health. Okay, so just taking a nice deep breath coming into the body. We're going to use here the Gilded Tarot Royale for you for your question about your health. And you are a talking already here. Okay, so some big feelings, big stuff going on here in your relationship to your health. I'm also going to go to, for you, I'm going to go to the Sacred Traveler Oracle here, Courtney, and I'm going to see what the Sacred Traveler has to say. You got 2 major arcana cards. So this is very powerful energy for you right now, having to do with your health. You got the Hierophant here. Now, the Hierophant is a card of change. It's the number 5. So something's changing about your relationship to your health, the way you're feeling physically, the equilibrium and homeostasis in your body. Feels to me like something is changing. Now, the Hierophant, however, comes in with an inner authority. And I think that's important to point out about the Hierophant. It is a card of being in not only spiritual alignment, which I think is very good. Anytime you're dealing with a health matter, sometimes it assists you to be able to deepen yourself spiritually. All right, when you're going through changes. Now, it's not that we don't want to dissociate. We don't want to come out of our bodies too much, right? We do that every night when we sleep. We access that subconscious realm. This is more about going deeper into maybe the behind the scenes energy having to do with your health and finding a level of authority over your own inner wisdom connected to that and your spiritual power with this. So it's a very powerful card. And what I really like about this, it goes along with this next major arcana card that you got in really pointing back to the deep internal work that you're doing. And you got the Hermit card as well. Now, the Hermit offers both reprieve and challenge at times. And that's kind of what I'm feeling for you. It almost feels like on a day to day basis, you have these moments where you're connecting with what would feel to me like a breath of fresh air and kind of a reprieve from not being stressed about health and about your body equaling out and changing and evolving. And then there, on the other hand, there's these moments of overwhelm. And so this feels a bit jolty right now. It's kind of jolting. I'm getting kind of this jolting feeling, but it's like this little, if it was like those little where they measure your heart rate, it kind of goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And it feels like it's happening really fast, cycling for you. And somehow I think that everything is balancing out. There's just a lot of movement right now. So the Hermit card would offer you the chance to go deeper when you're alone with yourself. And I know from knowing you, I know that you really challenge yourself to get out, to be present in community, to be present with people. You're active online in communities and things like that. Also, the Hermit comes along though with gifts when you are alone and when you are by yourself. There's some sort of possibly even a creative idea having to do with your health, possibly even a direction of a healthy habit that you would like to take that is going to come up for you. And also, I'm called to say if there's any decisions that are coming up for you, in this particular card, there's a snake on the path of the Hermit, but because the Hermit has his lantern out in front of him, he sees the danger before he steps on the snake. So if there's any kind of decisions, I feel like your inner knowing is going to give you the yes or the no, especially if something is a little risky or you're feeling risky about something, you're not quite settled on something. Now, right in the middle here with the Oracle card I got you, you got the grounding card. Go deep and explore your roots. Now, this is going to be that Scorpio energy that you're familiar with, where you can really allow yourself to go a little bit deeper inside yourself. I think this is on several levels. I think this is going to be emotional, and there may be some release, although I'm not getting that that's a bad thing. It'll just come and go and as it needs to. There's going to be some emotional release, but moreover, it's that Hierophant energy again coming up. It's the spiritual connection. And to me, this grounding energy, she's the character is lying under a tree, like with her back to a tree, and looks to be in a very peaceful setting. And I think in all of this, and in coming into deeper connection with your health and the decisions you're having to make and the energies that are a bit jolty, you are going to find some sort of answer or some sort of knowing that brings you a level of peace. And it has to do with grounding in that energy. So you can really utilize your particular Scorpio Taurus placements to assist you with going deeper. And there's going to be times where you're a little bit more like the Taurus, and there's the Hermit here. And there's going to be a little bit more times where you're like the Hierophant here, which I'm kind of connecting to your Scorpio energy. But they work together really nicely. I'm kind of imagining like that Scorpio water kind of coming down and nourishing the energies. Maybe it's within your own body. Hydration is probably important, but nourishing your own energies somehow, like the earth, like where the earth feels maybe dried and cracked and barren and just feels like it needs nourishment. That's where those energies come in for you. So very powerful. Okay, I hope that is helpful to you, Courtney. All right, here I've got two things going here. Okay, you have a friend watching but can't download the app. So she can't ask a question, and I would ask, oh, he can't ask a question. Yeah, yes, Courtney. You can definitely ask the question. I got it. Okay. T for T. Perfect. Okay, we got it. All right, let me just keep track here. And we've got Callie up next. He needs to know whether to move forward with divorce or wait for my partner to do their individual work. Whew, Callie, that's a big decision here. We're going to switch back over to the Wild Wolf Tarot for you and see what we got here. And I'm just going to say hi if I missed anybody. Did I miss anybody? I think not. Okay, but Courtney's asking for tea. Got it. Okay. So for your energies, Callie, you're kind of facing a big decision here, aren't you? Move forward with a divorce or wait for your partner to do the individual work. Oh, I feel already in your energies, Callie, why this is tough. Let me get a card too from the Divine Animals Oracle here. I'm going to pull out another animal deck to work with us here. Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm just going to say what this feels like to me because you're kind of asking in a way like a yes or no question or this or that. And at the end of the day, ultimately, of course, you're going to decide here. Now, the divorce to me, like, let's just go with I make the decision to divorce. It's going to be a little bit chaotic if it hasn't been already, okay? And this is the Tower card in the traditional tarot. In this deck, it's called the Storm. And it's a number 16 if you work with numbers at all, or 1 plus 6 is 7. This divorce situation is really stirring things up and has the potential to be a bit chaotic until everything is said and done and everything is settled. It sounds like you're saying move forward, which means you may be in a certain part or aspect or phase of that anyway. But the energies that this is up against, so I'm looking at the divorce, I'm looking at kind of this short term chaos while you deal with the energies of your partner, them being upset, their emotional energies. There feels like there's projections here, projections of emotions that get all mixed up. And it feels like, I feel like I'm in a bit of a defensive position as I tune into your energy here, where maybe you feel like you have to defend yourself or be in a more defensive position. So I don't know what's coming at you there. But it feels like you're kind of like on guard with that. Now, when I kind of tune into the energy of wait for them to do the individual work, we got the Fool card. So again, your cards are major arcana. These are major cycles that you're moving through. The Fool card is all about taking a risk on something. And I really feel like for you in this situation, you've got risk on both sides. Okay. You've got risk on, the side of getting into a divorce and going further with that. You've got risk on the side of waiting while someone works on something. Now, this Fool card here says innocence, and it's like a wolf, a young wolf sniffing a flower, being curious about that. I do feel like when I think about the Fool and where the Fool is in the cycle, it's at the 0 point. It's at the very start. And I'm wondering if your partner isn't just beginning to really start to commit to doing the work on themselves, which means that the road may be a little long there. So I think at the end of the day, you're going to have to decide for you what feels the best, right? I mean, because that's a big move. If there's children involved or other family members, it's always very sensitive. Kimberly says there's a lot of static on the audio. Sometimes if you refresh the app, that will help. I am not getting any errors on my end, but just to check in there. So yeah, so that's what I'm getting, Callie. I'm just kind of getting that. It's going to be up to you, but here's where you want to go with making the decision. You want to go toward your happiness. You got from the Divine Animals Oracle a dolphin, and that means happiness. If you think about the playful nature of dolphins, the joy, I would say, can you reflect a little bit on if you really experience that level of connection and playtime and excitement and happiness about your partner? And if the answer is yes, then you may be able to utilize that energy to kind of move forward with them in that direction, right? And being patient as they kind of navigate their own journey here. I do think there is some sort of like something is clicked for them, but that doesn't mean it won't take a while for them to really get in the place. So does it feel better to you? Does it feel happier and more joyful for you to wait, or to go ahead and go through the shorter term, harder storm here, which might be a little ugly, it might be kind of frustrating, to get to your own freedom and happiness? And that's going to be that choice that you have to make. But your happiness is being implied here. And I just want you to imagine, or even watch a video of like dolphins playing, or listen to their little squeaky sounds, right? The dolphin itself is going to help kind of reconnect you. I feel like there's something in your energy that's very fun and playful, and maybe you would like that to be more a part of your life. And so you're also looking at, are the people in my life able to do that? Do the relationships that I've created, do they hold that fun and that playful energy for me? Is there a nice give and receive of that? Not that it has to be fun and playful and light all the time. That's not realistic. But would you feel more free doing this alone, or would you feel more free and playful being able to establish maybe a new routine with the partner? I do sense it's going to take the partner a bit of time, so that may or may not be realistic for you. All right, depending on the timing here. Good question, deep question there. Whew. All right. I see you guys talking to each other. Yay. All right, Kate is here. I'm just scrolling down. Kate is here. New job is going well. Working with a key decision maker a lot over the next week, and would love insight. What I need to keep in mind, prioritize, and remember, whatever Josh wants me to know. Okay. All right, let's check it out. Josh is your spirit guide. That's cool. He's a frat guy. Oh, died doing a keg stand? Really? That's pretty tragic. Whoo. Okay, let's see here. Annie's here. Hello, Annie. Whoa, Courtney. Not Courtney. I said Courtney. It's Kate. Courtney, did you make the card fly out? Or was that Kate? Or was that Josh? What's going on here? Okay. All right. So you're working with a key decision maker over the next week. Okay. Prioritize. Oh, this is going to be interesting with this particular decision maker. Let's go with messages from the animal spirit guides as well. I think this is going to be a little interesting because their way of making decisions might be a little strange. All right. So you got the 8 of Swords here for the should I, what do I need to keep in mind? I felt like when this card flew out that maybe it was Josh pushing it out, right? Like this decision maker, what do I want to say here? It's not that they have ulterior motives with their decision, but they do, if you know what I mean, right? Okay, so I'm feeling a little bit of like, I got to like this is this person's energy, the decision maker. I have to navigate this with the new girl or whoever, right? With Kate, in a way that, that I stay in control of the situation, I guess, of the discussion. But they definitely want to gear this, whatever they're working with you on, in a certain way. And I think you just need to be aware of that. So there's going to be kind of what they present to you, and then there's going to be a little hint of something kind of underneath the surface. And I think your intuition's going to catch it, and I think you're going to pay attention to it. Now, it's not that it's going to change the outcome necessarily, but it will give you a reference point for dealing with this person and how to deal with them. And how to deal with them, you got the Knight of Pentacles. I think you're going to have to maybe do some inquisitive questioning of this decision maker to double check that you understand what they want and why they want it. All right. And that it's not that you have to slow down your gifts, talents, and abilities and how you're applying them to a job. But it's like at first with this person, it feels like it takes a moment to kind of get in with them. Maybe it's a trust thing on their end. Maybe they have a hard time trusting other people or new people in the business environment for some reason. But that's what I get here. You may have to move a little slower, speak a little slower, ask a few clarifying questions here. And this is kind of fun. I think this is Josh coming in with, I think this is both a message for you, but it also could be a common ground you find with this decision maker. You got the humpback whale. Music is essential to your healing and well-being, whether singing, playing an instrument, or listening. So that might be a nice icebreaker for you all, the topic of conversation here for you. All right. So the humpback whale, powerful, beautiful energy, but that might help kind of break the ice because this person's coming in with this, like they just, I don't know. I don't know if I get an awkwardness or just this little bit of like you trying to understand where they're coming from. And so you have to slow things down and kind of make sure, maybe ask some clarifying questions. But if you can get them talking about, like if they have an interest in music or they play an instrument or something, that might kind of break the ice. And you know how a humpback whale, when they go up and then just that big splash they make when they land, I think it'll really break the ice. You know what I mean? It will really help. And that's what I get for you tonight. Isn't that cool? Oh my gosh. I hope that goes well. It'll be really interesting. You'll have to come back to the next live and tell us how that went, because I know work situations can always be very interesting. And Ashley says, Ashley's up next. I'm pretty excited about my future. May I hear more about it? Absolutely. So you'd like to kind of peer into the potential energies of the future. I love it. I love it. And I'm so glad to hear you're excited about it, right? It's nice to have things to be excited about and look forward to. You know, my partner, Jason, he's really good at that. I tend to have more of the Cancerian energies. So I'm kind of like, back here working on the past and working on staying present and all that. But he will get excited and attempt to get me excited about things. And that's just nice energy because it kind of like, it just makes life have that spark. And so I'm glad you have excitement about it. So let's see what's in store for you from the Wild Wolf Tarot. Ooh, okay. And we're going to go to the Sacred Traveler Oracle for you as well. All righty here. And I know there's some new folks joining as well, maybe that have come on. Let's see. Let me see. I'm looking out ahead. Jay says, can I ask a question about something? I'm confused afterwards. Well, I end at 8. I end right at 8. I'm going to do as many readings as I can. I end at 8 o'clock. So, and I don't really meet with people afterwards. This is live readings. So, and then I see Ramsha is here. Hamza, current feelings for Ramsha. Okay, so I'll get you. Karen's here. Hello, Karen. How are you? Good to see you. Okay, let's get back here. We're getting back to Ashley. Okay, Ashley's future. We're excited about it, and you should be. There's a lot of creativity coming into your future. This is the Page of Cups, the Pup of Caretakers. This feels like the kind of excitement where almost like you feel like youthful again, like a teenager, and you're kind of like, the world is at your fingertips and fun is opening up for you, and you're feeling really happy and you're feeling really good. And this is being curious about how you like to create. I know you like to write and you do that personally for yourself. Maybe there's something there that would expand further, perhaps. All right. So I don't know if you take your writing to a next level, but I also get that travel vibe every time you join and you're talking and you comment, like, get creative about maybe saving for a trip or how you will make something happen. There also tends to be this feeling that there are certain places that amplify your creativity that you might be able to find. And if you've never looked into your own chart as it relates to astrocartography, it actually shows you where in the world you can see where you live, and you can see like what you'll learn where you live and what the tendencies are. But you can also see places to travel to, and you might be kind of surprised what comes up there. You can plug this in online, go on Google and just put in free astrocartography chart, and you will be able to pull that up. I think that would be really important for you because it feels like there are certain ecosystems that like really give you a boost in your creativity as well. Now, also, and I don't want you not to be excited about this, you got number 15, the prey, the shadow self. Now, this is the devil card in the traditional tarot, but nothing to be afraid of. It literally is about doing shadow work and being able to navigate that. And the fact that it comes up with creativity means to me that you're going to be just clearing out the energies that don't belong anymore so that you are a clearer channel to receive your creativity. And I'm getting for you an inner muse. You have like a muse inside you that is like really wanting to come out. There may be some obstacles that you have to work through. This is Capricorn energy. You may have to put a little elbow grease into this and work a little bit harder to clear out some of the energies that don't match up with the places or the goals or the creative ventures that you have. But that's part of life, and that I think that's a good sign. As far as it just means that the things that would be in your way, they're going to become known so that you can get them out of your way. You can get them out of your way and into your creativity. And you also got navigating by the stars, follow your bliss. And you got this beautiful card, and I love this coming up with these two cards because that prey card there, the like devil energy, it does have the tendency to kind of put us in that organic dark kind of place and feeling. But then we have the stars looking for the points of light in that. Now, this could literally also translate to you being somewhere where you can clearly see the night sky. Now, I don't know if you have goals to see the aurora borealis or something like that. I think that would be amazing, of course. But this could also be a more remote mountainous area where you have a really clear view of the stars, like without the light pollution of like a bigger city. And this says follow your bliss. And that bliss and creativity, those are complementary. And I kind of feel like in your energy, you have this like, I don't know, it's like your own little funnel, like tornado inside you that is wanting to create. And It just makes you so happy. Maybe that's why you're excited about it, because you feel it building. It's kind of like, it reminds me, those little experiments we did when we were little, making a tornado in a jar, but you shake it up. The devil card kind of shakes things up. It's going to shake off the stuff that you don't need to carry with you anymore. And it's going to ground you in here to your creativity and open up possibilities for you. So, wow, that is cool, Ashley. No wonder you're excited. I think it's great. It feels like it's on a building cycle. Like you're kind of on these spirals and they're building and building and building. So that is an exciting time, because it feels like it's on the up and up. And if you haven't checked out my Up Level series, that might be really helpful for you, because I got out relationships, career and purpose, self-worth and confidence, spiritual gifts and intuition. And then this next week, we'll have financial abundance, the healing journey, and divine timing, destiny. So we're going to do readings on up leveling all of that. All right, Chelsea, you're up next. Hi, may I ask, is the J2C Enterprises LLC legit on the administrative assistant position David offered me? Chelsea, are you an entrepreneur? Are you in the entrepreneurial space or the sales space? I'm just wondering, because I feel like maybe you asked a question, so you're trying to find the right career alignment here. And I mean, if you don't want to share that, you don't have to. I just think sometimes I get curious. All right. Anshuman is here. All right. Yep. Just drop your question in and say hello, hello. Okay, Chelsea. J2C Enterprises LLC, legitimate on the administrative assistant position. Yeah, I get entrepreneur. Is it an entrepreneurial company? Is David an entrepreneur and you're like going to be the assistant? It kind of feels like that to me. I feel this more groundbreaking energy. I'm going to go to the Sacred Traveler again for you as well here. Okay. Okay, so I do think that this position that David has offered you is legit. I do see a nice exchange of financial energies here. So it feels like the pay is going to work out in your favor. The Six of Pentacles is about exchanging. So you may have to negotiate a little bit, but I would really be dedicated to asking what you're worth. All right. And being willing to negotiate that if you can, but it feels like the money is there in this situation. For the legitimacy, yes, I do get that. I do get it's legitimate, and he'll be able to pay you and reward you. Where I want to tell you to be careful about this one is with boundaries. With this Nine of Wands coming up here, like your work-life balance boundaries is what I get the most of. Like sometimes when people are looking for that administrative assistant and the administrative assistant gets on board and they get dumped on. Okay, I have a friend who's done administrative assistant for a long time. She's really, really good at it because it's scheduling and it's email and it's this and that. But I would make sure that David is explaining to you the functions of the job, and that it doesn't all of a sudden load you up to the point where it's just not even reasonable or rational. So there need to be some boundaries here with the work-life balance, with the hours put in, and if there is, if there's overtime, what will be the reward for that, right? How many hours are we really putting in here? And I think that's even more reason to ask for what you're worth and what you want to have, because I do think it's going to be like you're going to be put to work really fast. On this other side of things, you kind of have in your energy traveling lightly and simplifying your life. And I get this sense that you're kind of in this phase, Chelsea, where you're going to be attracting more money and abundance and finances. in order to lighten the burdens in your life. So you've kind of got that going on. Okay, so something like this is out of your norm. You're saying, yeah, I don't feel like it's a scam. I just feel like it's going to be a lot of work, right? But this David guy, I got the entrepreneur feeling. I feel like they're a go-getter, but then they're going to say, I need you to help me go get all this stuff, right? So, but yet in your energy, I just feel that you want to work smarter, not harder. You want to travel lightly. You don't want to be weighed down with some sort of like imbalance, work-life balance. So as long as you have the boundaries around that, you're negotiating on your own behalf and you're comfortable doing all those things, I think you're going to be good in this situation here. It feels pretty good to me. And it feels like it helps you kind of simplify your life, maybe making the finances easier, maybe making just your ability to feel safe and secure easier, right? It feels like that kind of energy where you kind of lighten any kind of burdens here. There could also be something where it sparks something in you as well, because in your energy, when I sense your energy, to be honest, I don't feel like you're the assistant person. Like you have something leadership wise. You may not want to do it right now, especially if you're trying to travel more lightly and like not have as much on your shoulders. And I get that. I totally get that. I've been there. But there's also something there, and maybe the job with David there is going to spark that or maybe amplify that for you. So keep that in mind as you continue on. Okay, we're going to ask the question for T now, Courtney's friend, because they're having trouble getting on the app. What's in store for my music and art? And we're going to call him T because his name is tough to say. I understand. I always try to say them the best I can. Just thanking you all for being here. I know you're all subscribed or you wouldn't be able to drop in the comments there. This is live Q&A is for subscribers, people who are supporting the channel. It's my way of giving back to you. Thank you so much. If you do feel called to tip or donate, since I'm not monetized here on YouTube, I have the links up at the top of the live chat if you would like to. And we always appreciate that. It really helps me grow the channel. For T, I'm going back to the messages from your animal spirit guides as well. What's in store for the music and the art? Okay, for T. Well, first of all, I really like the vision that I'm feeling for you, T, with the Ace of Swords coming up here, and it says clarity. And it's like a wolf being reflected or through these big giant crystals. Your inspiration, your ideas, the way you form the music and the art through your mental space is really cool. And I really like that, like, because it's you have the vision, you have the way to get it out there. So I don't sense like any confusion about, I know what I'm doing. This is the way I do it. This is my gift, and I know how to put it out there. Now, what's in store for it here? Now, I don't know if this is the way you're going to feel or the way that your music and art may make people feel. But I think you tend to, with your music and art, pull on the heartstrings because you got the 5 of Cups here. And it says regret. This almost reminds me of like a song. You know how sometimes you've gone through a breakup and you listen to a song or a certain piece of music and it literally like pulls on your heartstrings and you just start crying? Like it can be on a commercial. That I've even cried at like commercials, you know? There's just something in the frequencies, there's something in the tones that pulls out the emotions for people. And so your music and your art has this way of helping people heal any kind of regret they may have. I'm getting relationships, like, I don't know if you do love songs or you just have a way of evoking the emotion through your music and your art. And sometimes that emotion is sadness, but it's also very healing because it's sadness that needs to be felt. It needs to be processed, that kind of thing. So the Five of Cups comes up with that tendency. And then also, T, you're being encouraged to really get support from a trusted group of friends. So, with your music, I don't know if you're a solo artist or you have a band, but you're being asked to like surround yourself with like minded people. And you got the meerkat. And I always think of that show, Meerkat Manor, right? And they're always like concerned with their little community and their family group. So there may be some family and friends around you who can really help you take your music and your art to the next level by supporting you with your clear vision that you have. You have a really clear, strong vision here. And I feel like if you do like I'm thinking about musical songs, like if you're a songwriter or maybe you play an instrument, you have the tendency to be able to really strike emotions in people. So I would keep that in mind and just know that, there's going to be times where people really need those songs that pull on the heartstrings and make them cry. There's going to be times when they need something more upbeat. So maybe just working with that a little bit. But I'm wondering if there's not someone around you who has insight for you with your music and art. Like, not me, because I'm not an expert in music and producing music and art, but like someone who is doing that too, or is part of your circle in that area. There's also this, I feel like you have a lot of promotability. So I don't know if somebody's going to come along and want to promote you. It kind of feels like that energy's on the horizon. We've got Jupiter moving into Cancer pretty soon this next month. And since your music and art really brings up emotions in others, that might be the time that you might see someone come in and really like build you up or be a fan for you or promote you somehow or offer you something. So get ready for that in the month of June for you, T. Okay, very good. Very good. Tossie, that's a cool name. I like it. Okay, T, thank you. Okay, Annie's here and Annie's up next. We're going to keep rolling. We're going to keep rolling here. I see, let's see. Sometimes people come in and they comment and then they retract their messages. That's fine. You can retract your messages. But, yeah, this is a serious Q&A, okay? We're getting through questions seriously here. So I can understand maybe some people aren't ready to quite ask, or they think they're ready, but they're not. It's okay. All right, Annie is here. Do my spirit guides have any messages for me? Years ago, a medium named Andy told me their names, Atson, Ethan, and Chartreuse. I don't know if they are still with me. I do say goodnight to them always. Oh, that's something that I used to do as well with my guides. I'm not as good about it anymore, but I used to do that. It might be a reminder that they want me to do that. We're going to go to the Divine Animals Oracle for you here. Okay. I'm trying to listen because you named off 3 of them here. So, where are we going here? Okay, so I want to go to Chartreuse first, okay, Annie, because Chartreuse is like making herself known. I'm thinking Adson and Ethan feel more masculine to me. Chartreuse feels more feminine. So I'm going to go with her feminine energy. She is working with you on the emotional aspects of your life right now with this 5 of Cups. Now it's interesting because T just had the 5 of Cups too, but in a different card. Chartreuse is really the one that always comes in and gives you like the spiritual hug. the one that is always with you when you are crying, when you're feeling down, when you don't feel like seeing anyone or getting out of bed, or you're just having these times where you feel down in the dumps. That's what Chartreuse is really, really good at. That's where Chartreuse comes in. And I do feel like Chartreuse is still with you. And it also feels like she's meant to be with you your entire lifetime this go around. So I don't think, because sometimes guides will come in only for a period of time and a specific purpose. Now, Adson and Ethan, I am not picking up as actively as I did Chartreuse as I'm tuning into those energies, but we do have the Eight of Wands here. And I feel like their energy comes in um, more, it's more when you need to make a decision. Okay. That's when they come in and kind of like, it seems like they get like one on either side of you. They feel like they support, okay, and hold you up when you're making tough decisions. And decisions, even that you have to make really quickly. I think those are the times they come in. Whereas Chartreuse feels more ever present with you, kind of like she gives me kind of like a loving aunt or a sisterly kind of energy for you, which is really beautiful. And she also is very regal in the sense of, um, I get a big aura with her, and like it reminds me, I'm getting an Egypt connection. So I don't, a Kemet Egypt kind of connection with Chartreuse and possibly you. So you possibly could have a past life connection with Chartreuse as well. Her energy comes up more powerful, coming up on the emotional, and the other two come up more when you're making decisions, maybe more on the mental energies, and they come in really fast and then they go really fast. That's kind of what it feels like to me. But they're not as ever present as Chartreuse. So the other thing you got here, and what I think they all three are working with you on, you got horse medicine here, and I love this beautiful white horse breaking through this portal here, this doorway. It's freedom. It's freedom. And I think it's emotional freedom. I think it's freedom from mental grind. Okay. The grind of the mind here. This is what they're here to help you experience, right? There tends to be what I kind of sense for you is there tends to be heavy energies in your environment. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm feeling like I'm releasing as I'm talking about this, and I feel like you've been releasing as you've progressed in your life and you've evolved in your life. But it's like this lifetime, for some reason, you do find yourself having heavier energies around you. Okay. And when we have heavy energies around us, there's usually something heavy within us that's being transformed. And this is about you breaking free of the mental grind, breaking free of what I would call like an energetic slavery almost is what it feels like, which is a big deal. It feels like it's one of the things you're meant to do. So anything that you can do, I don't know if you're in a place where you can go horseback riding or just be next to horses, like some places have where you can go and be next to them and just be with them or maybe help brush them or something like that. Very healing for you, very helpful for you, very like horse medicine for you, very powerful, very powerful. So if you haven't worked with it a lot this lifetime, I would definitely encourage you to take up working with horses in the way that you can. Of course, you can do that energetically as well, but also if you can get around them and you get the opportunity or you can somehow prioritize that, that would be super duper helpful because it's like they understand you, you understand them. And with the horses, what I'm getting from Chartreuse is you can take that emotional energy to them and they will help you heal it. They're powerful, powerful healers there. Ooh, very cool. You guys come up with the best questions. Yeah. That makes me want to go through my spirit guide list and see Are you guys still there? Like, how are you working with me? Very cool. Yeah, I love that. You got some dynamic guides there. Okay. And Kate is talking about her Josh, her spirit guide. It's cool to form these relationships with the energies that are here to support us from the other side, and in a way they're embodied and aspected in our greater being. And so getting to form our own relationships is really powerful. Karen says, "Hey, we are in the same time zone, Central, today, almost to Fort Worth, Texas. You'll take a general read for you, and Aaron would like one if I have time." And let me just check. I think I have time. I think I have time here. So let me get out the Gilded Tarot Royale here for you, Karen. General read for Karen. Let's go with your energies first, and then we'll go into Aaron's. Ooh, nice. We're going to go messages from your spirit animal guides for you, Karen. Oh, nice. And you got the 10 of Pentacles. That's looking pretty good. I know you've been working on manifestation, and you told me about some good things that came in for you. I feel like your energy is really ripe for this right now. The 10 of Pentacles is feeling really good about the resources that you find falling in your lap or you find yourself attracting. I feel like I want to go back about 5 years for you that you started manifesting towards something about 5 years ago. And this year, that would be 2020. What a great year that was. And now I don't know what that sparked in you, that whole transition of 2020 collectively. But for you personally, there was something you began manifesting that 5 years ago, and it's coming up this year. And then you'll see, like, you're going to keep getting, like, they keep coming in, the confirmations of what you've been working on manifesting toward for five years. I don't know why I get that, but I do. So I'm just saying it. And you got the Hermit. Your inner wisdom and your connection to your inner wisdom is what's most important here. You are very good at navigating tricky energies that you come up upon. And with this next card, I'm going to show you too, you're very resourceful. That is one thing, that sometimes we take for granted, but our world is kind of moving into this phase and stage where being resourceful is really, really important and helpful, right? And it can save some of the headaches. And I feel like you're saving yourself some headaches by some of the ways that you navigate spending and the way you navigate saving and the way you navigate what you need to buy, when you need to buy it. Your energy feels very resourceful here. And that's what I get from the Hermit. And it's guided by just your inner knowing. You have that inner knowing, and you just know. It just tells you, danger ahead, or no, you can go this way. It's all clear. And you just find yourself more and more and more evolving and maturing into that energy. And you got Camel here, and this is what brought up the resourcefulness. Trust that you have the resources to get you through the challenges before you. Yeah, you're very skilled at this. You're very skilled at resourcefulness, which is a really cool skill to have. Like, you would probably be, I don't know if you've thought about it, but like, you could do the homesteading thing. Not everybody can do that kind of thing. You could do like that, right? You just know where to go, how to get things, but the things that you're going for, the reason it's coming is because they're in alignment, which is nice. It's in alignment with a more evolved state, right? And so from the past 5 years, if you kind of just do a rewind back there to 5 years ago, what was going on? A house, not rental, a home ownership. You keep getting the Hermit. Yeah. Spending time with yourself in solitude. I know that you and I talked about that before, and getting time. I know you're a mom. I know you're traveling right now and everything. Finding that time in solitude can be a little tricky at times. But, we have to kind of carve out that space. And I think that's what the hermit's all about, because when you carve out that quiet time, that inner space, a little bit of solitude, that's where you can really connect with the powers, your superpowers, so to speak. And that's what it feels like for you. Okay, let's go with Aaron. What is Aaron? We'll get a general read for Aaron from the Wild Wolf Tarot. Ooh, cool. Aw, this is so cute. And we'll go to the, sorry, Aaron, this is so cute. This is Sacred Traveler Oracle cards here for you. All right, let's get a Sacred Traveler Oracle card. Whew, okay. This is cool. Honestly, as I read you, Karen, and then Aaron, both the energies are, they're different, but they're very compatible and they seem to be meshing well. So Aaron is bringing in the Hierophant. This is the Hierophant card. And in the Wild Wolf, it's the Hunt. It's traditional energy. Okay, so there's some foundations of tradition and more of what I get of like a rock like feeling, the stability of understanding what has come before. All right, so understanding of what has come before and what has value from what has come before that I can carry into my life, right, that I can keep as something important. And so there is a little bit of, I feel a little bit of sentimentality here, like a little bit of sentiment, which it honestly feels very nice. Like it's not overly like, you're hoarding things because you're so sentimentally attached. I feel like there are some very few but very potent sentiments going on for you, Aaron. So you'll have to you'll have to explain that. That's pretty cool. It feels nice, and you don't have to explain it. I mean, it might be personal to you, might be connected to your family of origin as well. But you bring in like this traditional energy that is really, it kind of gives me also like the feeling of the Four of Wands, like a stability. So that's really nice with the resourcefulness that Karen has, and the stability that you can bring in. If you're trying to manifest a home, that's looking really great. And then you got the Two of Cups, attraction. So you're just like, this lovey, I love my wife, I'm in love, and this is lovey-dovey land, and this is, really special. And if you guys are traveling together, getting away from the normal environment, and just getting out, this seems like a little upswing, a little uptick in, romance here, that an attraction that feels really sweet and really cute and really loving. I love it. And it's very enduring as well, with your traditional like sense that you're giving me, the sentimentality that you carry. It's a really nice, because these are complementary energies that you're both showing me. And for you, Aaron, personally, I know we're kind of looking at relationship there too. It just kind of came up, but you have your own transformation going on, which is super cool. I think there's going to be really new and exciting things coming your way, as long as you open your heart. I said harms, arms. So I was trying to say heart and arms. Like, it's just like giving the universe a big hug, because all of this new stuff is available to come into you. We kind of have the phoenix here rising from the ashes, right? So kind of coming up from an old cycle and persisting into a new way. But this feels really personal to you and good for you, in the sense that you're actually going to feel it, and it's going to feel like freshness. Like, and I think wherever you guys are traveling to and enjoying, to, I think that's, where you're enjoying traveling to as a couple. I think that's what's most important here. Okay, hang on just a minute. I know we're at the end here. Ramsha, did you delete your comment? Because you say, did I do your reading or not? If you deleted or retracted your comment, I can't see it anymore. So the answer is not, unfortunately. On Schumann, you said you also retracted a message. So if you retract a message, I'm not going to be able to see it. But we are at the end anyway. So I want to thank everybody for showing up here. If you didn't get a question answered, but you would like to, I'll be back here on June 1st. Come in early. Get your question in early, okay? So, oh, on Schumann, I do see one that maybe you, if I scroll down. Hold on. Ramsha. Okay. Okay, I see you guys, but listen, I will do the readings for you, but don't retract your messages. Put the question in and leave it in. Okay. If you take it away, I won't be able to see it. All right. So, Ramsha, let's do yours. And then on Schumann, I'll get to you. I see yours now. What is coming toward me this month? Guidance for removing hurdles in relations and shadow work. Ramsha, I got you first on Hamza. Hamza, current feelings. That's fine on Schumann. I know it's a little hard to get used to lives, but yeah, you don't have to take your message back out. I can see sometimes when somebody's there and then it seems like they're gone. All right, we got Ramsha, and then we'll do on Schumann, and then we'll wrap up. All right, Ramsha, Hamza's current feelings for you. We're going to get a Divine Animals Oracle for this one too, Ramsha, okay? Yes, my name is Stephanie. Okay. Okay, Ramsha, this is really interesting. Hamza is appearing to be going through some sort of healing. And I think Hamza sees you as someone who can maybe support healing the heart space or healing in the heart space. So I don't know if you two have had a fight or someone has hurt Hamza's feelings in the past, but there is some healing that Hamza's doing here. All right. And I think Hamza stays a little bit quieter about the feelings there, his feelings. Okay. In the moon here, this is very intuitive energy. So I think that you are feeling what Hamza feels, but Hamza may not be saying anything to you, might be kind of hiding in the shadows here. I do think there's love here, Ramza. I do think there's love. Hamza may be right now focused on another purpose, though, like job or money situation, finances, a home, or something like that. But I do see and feel that there's love here, but there's also healing going on. And that can take a little bit of time. But in Hamza's heart of hearts, I feel Hamza knows that you support the healing process. Okay. And I'm only going to do the one question. So I don't want you to keep asking more questions. Okay. One question. If you want to put the one question in a couple sentences, that's the best way to do it. Okay. Like if you're like, okay, but otherwise this will go on forever and ever. And we don't want to. I have my whole night ahead of me here too that I got to get to. All right. So on Schumann, you're in here too. And your question was, what is coming toward me this month? We're going to go to the Wild Wolf Tarot for on Schumann here. Removing hurdles in relationships and help with shadow work. Oh, you know what? On Schumann, I got to ask you a quick question, and you can answer in the chat here while I pull the final card for you. Does, have you felt deceptive energy around somebody? It could be at work or personally speaking. Because I got the 7 of Swords, like there's somebody around you that has kind of a deceptive energy. And it could be because they're not being honest with you because they're not even honest with themselves. There's somebody there that is kind of in this energy of they're kind of deceiving, they're kind of decepting, okay? Like maybe not telling you the full truth about something. So this could be one of the hurdles that's gone on is you are picking up in your own energy, like in your intuition, that somebody is not trustworthy here. And I would say that you should trust your intuition with this, okay? So if this energy is around you, you feel it with somebody that you work with or somebody in your family, you might want to give it a little space so you can figure out what that is. It doesn't feel super great. All right? That's somebody else's energy. In your energy, the sun, growth. All right? So listen, this is you having the confidence to know that no matter what kind of hurdles you have as you encounter your shadow work, it's all about having courage. This is connected to the sign of Leo, the lion energy. The lion would be a really good totem animal for you because you have a good radar. Your radar in sensing and picking up other people's energies is really clear. All right. And you just need the confidence to walk in your own light, in your own truth with your relationships and in being honest with yourself about what your pain points are. All right. That's what shadow work is. It's where we get really, really honest with what has hurt us in the past so we can heal it. And that's what you're doing. But the sun is like the happiest card in the deck. This is very good energy for you on Schumann because this means, yes, you will be able to confidently overcome any of these hurdles. So you've got maybe somebody that's going to be deceiving, but also that might come toward you. Yes. But also with this, you're going to be able to see it like a bright, shining light. You also got discovering the truth. You stand in the light of truth. That's what you're meant to do. I don't know if you work in legal situations or you're dealing with a legal situation, but that would be this kind of thing, or just knowing the truth about somebody who's trying to be deceptive because you just know from the inside out, you can pick up on that energy. So you're standing in that. So it honestly feels really good for you for what is coming toward you this month. It feels like, yes, you might have a hurdle. You might have some deceptive energy. Maybe some sort of scam energy comes toward you, but you've got the sun, and that's looking really good. Okay. Of course, it's buffering during your reading. It loves to buffer while, you may have to reset YouTube, but I'm getting ready to end the stream and I will post the replay. The replay will process and post. And usually, when people tell me it's buffering, on the replay, they can re listen to it. So, if any of you need to re listen to your part, you can go ahead and do this. I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. Thank you so much. And I wish you all an amazing evening and powerful, potent, fun week ahead. I will maybe see you on June 1st. Take care, everybody.